That's not the sound we want to hear.
Hey, can you also give me permission to share my screen?
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Cool, cool.
Hey, Gabe.
Got it.
There you go.
There we go.
There it is.
That's it.
Cool.
And it is loud.
Is it loud enough?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good.
Cool.
Okay, I got to get myself out of.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Yeah, we were working on microphone things. And unfortunately, I thought I'd gone, I went in today and I did the Zoom thing that said you don't have to have a waiting room and just let anybody in, and it's still making the doorbell noise. So apologies for that. I don't know if I can change it mid-meeting, so
Yeah, it's all good.
yeah. Okay, it's 4 o'clock and I'm a person who believes in starting on time. Apologies that we're gonna have these little ding dongs going on, but I guess that's not all bad. Yes, so what I want to do, make sure everybody knows to mute themselves, and I want to welcome you to this Tunelark live event. We're featuring two of our wonderful guitar instructors, Chris Schwartz and Peter Skoma. And I want to remind you of staying muted the whole time. Show your face if you want. Otherwise, the other thing is to remember to choose the view that says speaker views. That'll allow you to see who's playing and demonstrate for you in a bigger part of the picture. Oh boy, this is going to get old. So, all right. So we're going to get started, and I would like first to introduce Chris, who's been teaching with us for a little over a year now. Chris lives in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and divides his time between teaching and gigging with various rock and metal bands. And I've asked both of our performers today to share a little bit about their relationship to the guitar and how it got started, and then go on from there. They're going to do some performance for you, and then a little bit of tips and tricks, and then we'll move on to our next performer. About 10 minutes each. If you want to ask questions in the chat, I'll certainly curate those and have them be a part of the discussion between our performers. Okay, take it away, Chris.
Why, thank you. Yes, my name is Christopher Schwartz. I'm actually from a small town called Reading, Pennsylvania. Actually, a lot of random musicians kind of live in that area that were formerly of bigger bands such as like Foghat or Ted Nugent. And I got to know a lot of these players over the years, just being in that area. But my father was actually very close to a lot of these players. My dad grew up playing pretty much full time in various rock bands, and he was in a show Motown band called Burning House that was very popular. But I remember when I was very young, I used to go see him, and I would end up sitting on his guitar amp either at practices or at shows, and I would be like, "What is he doing? This is cool." And I would like look out. Oh, the audience is watching everything that he's doing right now, and he's great. He still plays to this day, but that really inspired me. I would come home, and he had guitars in the house, and I would just kind of grab them. Didn't know what I was doing yet, And one day he's just like, "Hey, let me show you how to play an A chord." And my older brother was also into a band called Kiss. So I kind of had various influences throughout the household. My mom was a singer. My younger brother was also a musician too. But I kind of stuck with it. Everybody kind of just did it on the weekends then at some point. And I just picked up and started actually gigging for a living. I started touring. I was up to playing like 250 shows a year at one point before kind of COVID hit. But I really ended up starting teaching pretty much full time around that time, and I really enjoyed it and kind of was like, hey, I want to give back to, you know, the people that kind of showed me things along the way and various venues, music stores, and all that kind of thing. So here's kind of me giving back, and I've been teaching with Tunelark for a year plus right now, and I've been really enjoying it. But today I'm going to kind of show you some little tips and tricks. I'm going to kind of show you kind of one of my favorite scales, the minor scale, but I'm going to give you some different ideas to use other than just playing, I say, like a robotic minor scale up and down the neck in a way. So I'm going to play kind of a little, I guess, like bluesy improv thing and kind of showcase some of these little things, and I'll break them down afterward. So I'm going to start off with kind of just playing in the key of A minor and using some of these little tricks I want to show you afterward. So here we go. So, thank you. I was just using a couple little things there. It was everything I was playing was pretty much just a minor scale, but just kind of knowing where to go is kind of half the battle here. A minor scale isn't that hard to remember. It's just a certain shape, and there's a couple ways that you can kind of remember this. And honestly, in A, it's very easy to remember the notes in a minor scale. It's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, obviously. So hopefully everybody kind of knows that, or if they don't, it's not that hard to recognize. It's just the notes that exist in music, basically, A, B, C, D, F, G. But, so you can do this multiple areas on the guitar. So you can do it it's called the linear pattern, which is all on one string. So if we end up looking at, if we're going to go to the 5th fret on the 6th string, we have an A, and that's pretty much where I was just playing out of. Now, if we know our notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that exists on the guitar, it's a certain pattern that exists on it, going all over the guitar, actually. So if we look at it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. There's a certain pattern that happens here. You got a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Now that pattern, you can copy and paste this, literally exists on every string, as long as you know where you're at on the neck. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here, is if you know all this kind of territory, you can make things kind of work very easily. So we have that whole thing down of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now if we look at our 5th string, that's an A string, that's an A note. So if we go a whole step, B, C, D, E, F, G, back to A. That's that same pattern that we had. That exists now on the next string. Okay? It happens. And so on, basically. Every string has the same pattern. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step back to the root. Now, if you know where all those are at, basically we're looking at A, okay? We're going to go from the 6th string pattern, A, B, C, okay? We're going to look at our octave of A, okay? That's going to exist right here on the 4th string. A, B, C, D, E, G, A. Okay? So we got here's our last pattern. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And this is all because I knew the shortcut basically of whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. It all applies on every string. Now, the concept that I wanted to get out of this was you can play these things called your minor pockets and make some cool lines out of it. Not just your normal this up and down. That's cool and all, but it kind of gets boring doing it over and over. So to step out of the box, and we're going to do that same concept now, but branch out on the guitar neck. So we're going to go. So now if we end up playing that, you can make a very cool, big, long run out of this. So we can make some really cool lines out of this. And also we can descend with them as well. So it's way better than just kind of staying in this. That's nice and comfy to do, but it's nice to get out of this territory and kind of break free. Now you can work this all the way down. Say you're playing. So you can work your way descending now, just like up here. But this way you're kind of getting out of this area and working your way down to the next octave. So that's pretty much what I like to do here. And kind of just break out of the box and shift gears. And so that's what I like to use a lot. It's called using the minor pockets.
That sounds great. Did I see a couple of hands raised here?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Peter.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
A good thing.
Yeah, really awesome job. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
I get a lot of questions from my students about, if I'm given like a demo, sort of like that, where you're doing the chord changes. Like, to you, like how do you go about knowing like when to play the backup, like the backing chords to?
So literally, what I was just doing there was I was basically playing just like a blues, A minor, D minor, but what I was just following was just my A minor scale, but when I was moving to my D minor, I was still working with my A minor linear pattern descending. So I'm just focusing on the D though, because I went to the D minor here.
Right. So when you're on that chord, you might play a different line, or you might have different target notes.
Yes, exactly. Different target notes, but I kind of just go back into, hey, I know my minor scale. I'm going to work my way descending and get back to that root note. Just following that pattern. So that's pretty much it. Like I was keeping it kind of safe in a way. You can really break out of the box by using different modes and such too. But right now I just kind of wanted to stay with the minor scale itself.
The other thing that I noticed, I'm not a guitarist, but musically, you're also taking, as you mentioned, pockets, and I loved how you'd work a pocket in different areas of the fretboard, still using just part of the scale instead of the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's to change up the flow. That way, things just don't sound stale in a way. You can kind of just work your way back as long as you know that those notes exist in that scale. They can be used, and it's more, I would say, interesting to the ear in a way to kind of catch that.
That's great. Thank you so much, Chris. This is great.
Yeah.
I didn't get any other questions in the chat, and feel free if you think as you're listening to Peter and his work, if you think you have something you want to ask either one of them, you can do the chat or certainly do the hand raise, which is great. But I think we're going to move along and listen to Peter now. I want to make sure that these live events don't go on too long so people can just really enjoy a moment of music and an opportunity to learn a little something new and not feel like you've taken too much out of your day, but gone away with something pretty special. So yeah, so Peter's been with us for a couple of years now. He teaches from Long Island, and in addition to his work as a guitar teacher and a gigger, he's a composer, and he's also working on some schooling on film scoring, which is pretty exciting. So take it away, Peter. Let's hear about you and your guitar, and then hear it.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Um, so I started playing guitar when I was around 12 years old. I originally just wanted to play in a band. I wanted to play in a band and write songs with my friends. It was like punk rock type of Green Day, Blink 182, that type of stuff. And then I discovered like other music along the way, and I started to take guitar a little more seriously, I guess. But I always owe like my rhythmic skills to the beginning of just playing in punk bands. So I think there's a lot of value in just that music. But I started getting into Steve Howe, the guitar player of Yes. And I think I connected with him because he seems to not be able to make up his mind about music, which I think I'm kind of in that boat too. Like I have a problem. It's maybe not a bad problem, but like whenever I hear something, I'm like, ooh, I want to make music like that now. So even just watching Chris, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try some of that one, on my next song or something. Um, but a style of music that I thought was really cool was when I discovered a guitar player named Kaki King. She did all this sort of crazy stuff with like tapping on the acoustic guitar and making it percussive and like just being like this. I wouldn't say she was the first to do it. She definitely got her influences from like a guitar player named Preston Reed. I think he was like kind of in the '80s kind of era. I'm not gonna be playing really anything to that extent, but it's definitely inspired by her kind of style, which kind of stuck with me through the years. And just a quick thing about me on songwriting. Songwriting music has always been my number one passion. So like what drove me to learn different guitar styles was to put into my own music. So I'm going to show you kind of like a work in progress. It's um, it's meant to have vocals. I'm not going to be singing, but I figured just showing you like the guitar work, which I usually put together first, might be interesting. And this is going to be a song in an open tuning. It's a pretty common one. So it's D A D G A D. But what's cool about retuning your guitar is I don't know, you just find and discover all these different sounds, and it opens up all these different ways to kind of play the guitar. So, for instance, like when I first started writing, I knew nothing about the neck. I knew nothing about music theory. I couldn't read music. I was just felt like I was discovering sounds, and that was really exciting. So then I went on and tried. I figured out everything. I could still learn more, of course, but for the most part, like when I'm playing a chord and I'm playing a pattern, like I'm like, oh, that's the E minor or whatever. Um, so I like to just tune my guitar in these open tunings, tune them to a chord, just so like I go back to the beginning of when I didn't really even know what I was playing and I was just listening. So, yeah. Um, so I'll play the song for you. I wanted just to show you as I'm creating the song, I every now and then I'll just write down the sheet music or the tabs. And the reason why I do this is so that I could put my ideas just like here and then listen to it. And I don't know, I hear the song differently. I can just put the guitar down and be like, oh, maybe I should put this part here. And then I kind of rearrange kind of the ideas I'm doing. So I started this the other day, and this is the version I have ready for today. It could still change, but yeah, this is what I'm going to play. So let's unshare this. And I'm going to put the microphone down so that you can hear me play a little better. Let's go like this. Does that sound okay? Okay. Also, it doesn't have a name yet, but for now, I'm calling it Green Beetle.
Yay! That's so good.
All right, thanks.
So nice.
Yeah, that's where the song is at now.
Mm-hmm.
So, does anyone have any questions? So that was all open tuning. I wanted just to mention that like what's cool about this is that I can also kind of get all these cool little harmonic sounds. So even just that on its own sounds pretty cool. And it's actually some of the stuff I like it. It might seem a little difficult to do, but it's really just like a couple patterns that you just play over and over again, and then because of the tuning, it just makes it sound way better. So cool.
Yeah, Gabe, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Peter. That was awesome. It reminded me of Astorius. Do you ever hear of Lawrence Juber being
Yeah.
a dad gat? Yeah, because Preston Reed even played with him. Yeah, I studied with him years ago. But I wanted to ask you something. I noticed you were going from. I always believe that when you're going from one, if you're going through a four fret span, you're going to go from the first finger to the pinky. But I noticed you were going from the fifth fret and jumping 4 frets and just going from the first finger to the third finger. Was there a reason behind that? Or
You mean when I was playing something like this?
yes. You were getting a chord in there. Okay, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so this is not doing anything. It's just, and then
Nice.
kind of just keeping those shapes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
But yeah,
Thanks.
Lawrence Juber's cool. Actually, did he do
Yeah,
that
he
version
was.
of Maybe I'm Amazed?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he was just in Nazareth. Well, Chris's hometown too, or my hometown also. He was just in Nazareth 2 weeks ago, and Martin guitar threw a thing and
Oh, cool.
surprised everybody, and that was really awesome.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
that's great.
he's always great to hear. So, yeah, thanks a lot. It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Gabe.
Any other questions we got rising here?
Oh, my friend Safra is in the room.
You know this person?
I know this person. They're on the spot.
Well, this is great. This is just fantastic, and I'm really excited that we're doing this. I definitely will take an opportunity to bring these two people back again. And now we're just getting the door open. I really hope that those of you that are attending now, I'll be sending out notices about other live events. And I think if it's really nice to sort of keep it bite-sized so that we can move on with our days and really enrich it. So thank you so much, Chris, and thank you, Peter, for doing this today. Thank you for teaching with Tunelark. Have everybody sign up for lessons so they can play like these guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you, Gabe.
signing off, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.